If you're good at something, never do it for free.
If you're watching this video, I'm sure a lot of you have felt some sort of pressure from social media or otherwise lately to be an entrepreneur, because that's the only way to make money. And they put this time pressure on it. Like, if you're going to make a ton of money, you have to start your own business. And that's not what this video is about at all. I don't want to feed you any of that bullshit, no motivational crap, no pressure, no timelines. Instead, what I want to do is just have you consider an option. I want to walk you through my story over the last several months where I did start my own business. And don't get me wrong, it has not been wildly successful. I've made a few $1,000s, but more importantly, I have a business that is really fulfilling me. I really enjoy what I'm doing, I'm helping other people, and the best part of it all is you can start it for $0. I know some of you might be like, oh, well, there's a really easy business to start for $0. You just make an OnlyFans. And yeah, some of you can do that, but for the rest of us, I'd love to share my story with you and let you know what I've gone through to find a business that's really fulfilling and really easy to start. A few months ago, I started a career coaching business for college students that are looking for internships or full-time jobs. And you might be asking, well, how did you decide to start that? And you don't need some big new idea, something that's never been done before. In fact, there just has to be a need that you need to meet. When I was at the University of Florida, I actually got paid by the business school to serve as a career coach. So I help students with resume prep, interview prep, and I realized that a lot of students had this need to prepare for interviews and job searching. And I decided that I really liked that when I did that on campus, and I was getting paid for it. So why could I not get paid for it now and still meet that need that's out there? And on top of that, I really love the experience of helping students with this. And that was an itch that I wanted to continue to scratch because I really wanted to continue helping students and go through that experience with them. So if you're looking to start a business, my best recommendation would be try to just start by thinking about what's something that you're good at. What do people tell you that you're good at? Whether it's that you have great workouts that you've showed people before, maybe they love your sense of style, maybe you've decorated your apartment in a really beautiful way. But if you're good at something, there's a great chance that people would want to pay you for your services. And then on top of that, if you are good at something, it's probably because you put a lot of hours into practicing that skill. And if you did that, you likely are really passionate about it or care about it a lot. So if you can find that intersection of what you love and what you're good at, that's probably going to be the best starting ground for starting your business. Once I decided that I wanted to continue helping students with career coaching, I needed to gauge some interest and see if people would be willing to pay for it. And I already had a good idea that they would be willing to because I had had people text me about it before. But before I even had a product or a service in place, I just went to my own social media and posted in a few Facebook pages that I was part of and just simply asked if people would want to talk to me on the phone about career coaching. And of 2 simple Facebook posts, I had 11 people that were interested. So I just put myself out there. That's all I did, is say that I was offering it. And keep in mind that I put myself out there before all of the bullshit. I didn't have a website, I hadn't registered for an LLC yet, I hadn't created a company name, because none of that mattered. And all I needed to see first was, are they willing to pay for it? And that'd be my big recommendation to you is, if you're great at something, just put yourself out there, reach out and see if people are willing to work with you. Because right there alone, you have a business. And then after that is when you can get to work on all of those smaller little details. Then that's when I really got to work on the content or the product of the service that I was offering. And it's not that I couldn't provide great insight and value right off the bat. I had done this before, but I really wanted to focus on delivering a really great experience and as much value as possible to my clients. Because ultimately, that's what's most important, is I want to help my clients earn internships and jobs, and I want them to believe that what they paid for was so valuable that they would recommend friends back to me. And so I really got to work. I pulled out my computer and I went through session by session every little detail of what I would offer them. the talking points that I needed to tell them, questions that I needed to ask them to uncover information, and resources or documents that I needed to give them so they could be prepared for the whole process. I went through every last detail to really create a great content offering for them. So that's what I would encourage you to do, is really just try to zone in on what you're offering. Whether it be a product or a service, just think about how can you deliver value to the people that will be paying you. And that's what I decided to do. And don't get me wrong, I've been victim before of falling for the traps of the bells and the whistles. I've tried to start a company before and I was so caught up in the company name and what colors the website should be. And that stuff is important later on, but it's not the most important thing to do when you're starting. And for me, the most rewarding part of this company has not been about making the money. It's been nice to make a few extra $1,000s, but what's more important is I just think about last week alone, and two of the people that I was working with, they both just landed internships that they were super excited about, and they both went out of their way to tell me, Ben, we couldn't have gotten these internships without your help. And that is what's so important to me, and that's what's been so fulfilling and why I've been willing to put so many hours into this business. And then as icing on the cake, you do get some money from it. So, you can make some extra money to reinvest in your business or use it for whatever you would like to. But ultimately, that value of giving people that you work with something great and making them very happy because they've worked with you, that's what drives me, and that's what I love about it so much. And on top of that, it is so much easier to sell something that you believe in. So it's not hard for me to offer this for a high price because I know what it's worth, and I know from clients and from experience that it's worth the money, and it makes it so much easier to sell that way. It's not like I'm trying to sell something scummy that doesn't work, and if that was the case, it'd be very hard to sell. And so ultimately, having something that you know brings value and you're good at it and you're passionate about it has been great, because even if I wasn't making money, I'd still have fun doing this, and that's what's really important. And I also want to highlight how there's almost no risk to this. When people think of starting a business, they think that there's huge risk. Well, you're risking $0 because you're not putting money into a product. Instead, you're offering a service of something that you're already good at. There's also no risk because you're not spending money on marketing. Instead, you're using social media where you get free outreach to test to see if it works, and also using networking to find your initial clients. And worst case scenario of this all, you put some time into it, of which you failed a little bit, but you learned from it, and maybe some people talk some shit behind your back. I know that's happened to me for sure, but who cares? That's the worst case scenario, then so be it. But the upside is so great and so awesome that it's definitely worth any of the downside. And that right there is my business. That's where I'm at right now. I've made a few $1,000s. I've spent $0 on this so far, and I've really had a great time and feel very fulfilled because I'm helping others with something that I'm good at and that I'm very passionate about. And I know all of that's probably a bit cliche and common sense, like, yeah, you should be passionate about what you do, but it's cliche for a reason, and it's because it works. I swear that's the only reason I've been able to spend so many hours on this and put so much time and effort into this, is because I really care about it. In the past, I've tried to start a business just to make money, and I just couldn't find myself putting enough time into it because I didn't care about it that much. So actually, as of yesterday, I finally registered for an LLC, making it an official company. And that does cost a few dollars, so at this point I've spent money on it. But the company started with spending $0 at all. And now that I am making money from it, I want to start reinvesting that money back into the business and hopefully have it grow, because I really want to give this advice to as many people as possible. And that's really fulfilling and putting me in a great spot, and is why I recommend that if you want to start a company, taking this route is one of the best places to start from my experience. And if you've made it this far, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Hopefully the tone of this was a bit more chill, that there's no pressure. You don't have to go do this immediately, but it's a cool option if you want to go pursue that. And if you found value in this video and enjoyed the content, I would love if you subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna have a lot more videos like this one, along with some other crazier, different challenge style videos. And also, if you enjoyed this video, it'd be great if you dropped a like. And with that being said, I hope you guys all have a phenomenal week ahead.
It's